All right, what's going on, everybody? So this weekend we got UFC 325, back-to-back number events after no activity from the UFC at all. So what I'm going to be doing is giving my predictions for the full main card and giving my breakdown to it. But real quick, before I get into the video, 94% of you guys aren't subscribed. So if you like UFC, pro boxing, or Misfits boxing content, I post 2 to 4 times a week on the channel at least. So make sure you guys subscribe. Now, Beanie Energy is now channeled because people got really mad at me for my reaction of Justin Gaethje beating Paddy Pimblett because I wasn't a fan of the eye pokes being intentional. But now that I have a target on my back seemingly by these random fan bases of fighters that I trash, I'm going to try to bring my best energy for these predictions. And if you guys are new to the channel, I start with the main event, then I work my way up the main card, start to the co-main event, just because you guys clicked on the video for the main events. So first, the main event. This fight is a little bit silly. We all know this. Evloev should have got the title shot. The UFC really didn't give a good explanation for it. Their explanation is basically Diego Lopes is the more entertaining fight. Oh, Paramount's new. Yeah. Even though I don't like Evloev's style, and I think he would try to be a terrorist and hold down Volk the entire time, I don't think Diego Lopes deserves it over him. It was very silly. And the first fight was good, don't get me wrong. But Diego Lopes got handled pretty easily in that fight. He did have a moment where he dropped Volk, and he did have moments in the pocket where he has some success. But Volk kind of bullied him at range as a smaller fighter. He did great with his leg kicks. He was moving well. He would close the distance with shots very well. And Diego Lopes ended up just chasing him around the octagon and getting pieced up most of the 5 rounds. Like I said, he had moments, but Volk is a better mixed martial artist all around. He has better movement. He has better combinations in general. Diego Lopes likes to fight at close range despite him having those long-ass legs and good boxing. He just likes to be in the pocket, and he has struggles with it. He needs to use more kicks, more body kicks, and we'll see if he does in this fight. But again, Volk will probably see it coming and make him pay in different ways. If you switch up the strategy, Volk's probably going to be ready for it. Volk is one of the most high IQ, fight IQ, octagon IQ fighters in the whole UFC. That's why he's as good as he is despite his size. He was just a better mixed martial artist in the fight. He was doing better in the clinch. He took down Diego Lopes easily. We might even see more of this in this fight. We'll see. Because Diego Lopes does have some dangerous abilities. He has nice knees and nice clinch work and nice overhands. But nothing tit for tat that could keep up with Volkanovski. That's why, especially as the fight went on, he was just getting pieced up and Volk was moving. And he was just kind of chasing him around the ring. He wasn't cutting off the octagon well. Volk is probably going to do similar things. There hasn't been enough time for Diego Lopes to improve, unless he gets a lucky knockout shot or a legitimate knockout shot. I think Volk is going to win by decision again. I think Diego Lopes is way too tough to finish unless Volk submits him. We'll see, but we don't really see Volk going for submissions that often. He kind of just scraps it and mixes it up very well. So as long as Volk is able to stay out of Diego Lopes' range, and don't get me wrong, Volk was able to fight in the pocket in that fight as well. I think I got Volkanovski by decision here. I think it's going to be a dominant decision win. I guess I could be wrong. I just think there's a major skill gap in general on the feet. Maybe you can make some arguments, but I don't even think so in that case. I think Volk's movement's way better. So I got Alexander Volkanovski by decision, and hopefully they set up Evloev after this. Hopefully this isn't Volk's last fight because it would be kind of a stinker. Kind of unoriginal fight. Oh, because it's entertaining. I think the UFC made a lazy matchup here and kind of panicked. It was like, we got to give Volk a fight. So they gave him Diego Lopes. But yeah, I got Volk by decision. So the first fight of the night is Quinton Selkild versus Malarkey. Now, I think Quinton Selkild has some star energy to him. I really do think so. I think he's a very talented striker, and I got him in this fight because this was a turnaround. There was an initial opponent, and then he pulled out, so Malarkey stepped in. But Malarkey has got a good amount of time to prepare. It's not like it's Moicano the day before. He's going to be prepared for this fight. And I got to say, Malarkey isn't bad, but I feel like Selkild just has way more striking ability. He has nasty body kicks, and then he could turn them into head kicks. He could really set up those kicks. That's why he got that nasty knockout not that long ago that went viral. I think he has that real knockout ability because he's long for the division. He has good distance management. He makes you impatient and makes you cross the distance, and then he'll crack you with a straight shot, or he will pick at you at range and kick the hell out of you, knock the wind out of you, and then hit you in the head with it. I feel like he's very good, and Jamie Malarkey does very good with his head movement, but he comes in reckless sometimes and he gets caught because of it. So I think that Quinton Selkild is going to do a great job here, picking him apart at range and then eventually finding a shot when Malarkey comes in a little reckless. I also see Quinton Selkild mixing in his grappling here because Malarkey just likes to scrap and Selkild loves to mix in the grappling throughout his fights, and I think this could be a great fight for him to really showcase it. So I think he's going to hurt Malarkey early in the fight, but I think he's going to finish him by TKO or submission in the second round. And I feel like that'll be a good statement to show, hey, look, I'm not just about kicks. I'm not just about my distance management. I also have good grappling too. It could be a great moment for him to prove himself as a balanced fighter, which I think he is, but yeah, I got Selkild by submission or TKO in round 2. Next fight, Talison Teixeira versus Tai Tuivasa. Now, this is supposed to be an alley-oop to get Talison Teixeira back in the conversation in the heavyweight division, prove he belongs here, but I gotta say, there is a real opportunity for this to go wrong here for Talison Teixeira, because if he were to get back-to-back losses where he was supposed to win, things will be very bad for him. And this is a very important fight because he is very talented. He is very big for the division. He's quick for the division. He has a nasty straight right hand. And I could totally see Tuivasa doing good at first, walking him down, and then he gets frustrated like he always does, gets too timid, and then gets caught with that straight right hand. The problem is with him is he likes to do the Alex Pereira where he likes to pull back and counter. And that got him in trouble against Derek Lewis. He got dropped and finished because of it, badly. And Tai Tuivasa also has that pressure you crash out energy where he was able to put pressure on Gon and drop him. He needs to really lock in for this fight and be on his bike and move very well. Even though he should try to push Tai Tuivasa back, I just think that's going to be hard to do. I think you have to really hurt Tai Tuivasa to be able to push him back, because when Teixeira has you against the cage, that's when he's most dangerous. He has a lot of different weapons he can hit you with, especially with his special straight right hand. Even though I don't like the way he moves his head, if he makes you miss at heavyweight, he's very accurate. He will make you pay for it. So I think it's one of these things where whoever is moving back is going to be in trouble in this fight, because Ciryl Gane was able to move away from Tai Tuivasa, cutting off the octagon, but Will Teixeira, I don't think he's as light on his feet. I think he's more light on his feet than Tai Tuivasa, but Tuivasa knows how to cut off the ring. Is Tuivasa slowing down even more? Probably. That's another factor we have to go into this, but I got Talison Teixeira by, it could be a round 1 knockout. I just don't really know. I just think he's going to be a bit timid because of Tai Tuivasa's strategy. So I'm going to go second round finish for Talison Teixeira. He needs to win this fight. I think he has enough ability to win. He just needs to fight smart. If he has Teixeira, their names are too fucking similar in my morning brain right now. If Tai Tuivasa is against the cage, I think Teixeira will finish him. And I will be nervous if Tuivasa is able to cut the cage against Teixeira, but I think he'll bring enough to the table where Tuivasa will get hurt if he gets too close. So I got Teixeira by round 2 finish. Next fight is Fiziev versus Ruffy. Now, this is a great matchup on the part of the UFC. This is going to be a banger fight, and it's risky for Ruffy because he's coming off a loss to Benoit Saint Denis. Fiziev has kind of done his thing in the division already. If you lose to Fiziev, are you really going to rise up the rankings all the way? Probably not, because Fiziev is great. He's a great striker, and Ruffy's getting what he wants here with this, but Fiziev is a very tough nut to crack because he has very good head movement. He sees kicks very well. He has his own nasty body kicks, so he'll bring his own stuff to the table. He has real pressure, which Ruffy just showed that he has real problems with. Benoit Saint Denis was able to land punches on him. He was able to pressure him up against the cage. Even though I don't think Fiziev is going to wrestle, I think pressure still is a bit of an issue for Ruffy because he really just depends on head movement counter shot, especially the pull right hand, which when it lands, cool, but when you're spamming it 100 times in a fight, it becomes a little bit more repetitive. And it is very apparent that Ruffy likes to be in control of the fight. He likes to be relaxed. He likes to pick his shots. I don't think Fiziev is going to give that to him, so it's going to make things very interesting. But the thing is with Fiziev, he just lost to an older Justin Gaethje. Even though he beat Paddy, I feel like that's more of a knock on Paddy more than, oh, Justin Gaethje's still Justin Gaethje. I don't really think so. I think that Fiziev fades in his fights all the time, even 3-rounders, So I can see him having success early with his body kicks, his pressure. Luckily, Ruffy can move pretty well, so I don't think he would get caught by his wing combinations that he likes to do with his boxing. But he is a lot better of a kicker than a puncher. He's more so known for the kicks, but there are times where he goes body head. It's just usually in a blitz format. It's not really like in the pocket, pick you apart type of boxing, which I think that Ruffy will have some advantages with. You would hope that Ruffy does a little bit more with the boxing moving forward. But again, I can't be doing this with, he should be doing this. Ruffy kind of just pull counters. So mainly his offensive ability is going to be from kicks, is going to be from activity. He's going to have to win at the center of the octagon because when he moves back, I get nervous, like I said. So yeah, I think Fiziev is going to do good early in rounds 1 and maybe half of round 2. But I think in round 3, I think Fiziev is going to fade. I think Ruffy is going to get his second wind and get into his flow state that he likes to be like and gets either a finish in round 3 or a decision. I could totally see a decision by Ruffy, so I'm going to actually call that. I kind of don't see a finish in this fight. I could be wrong, but I think Fiziev's going to have a good round 1. And then I think Ruffy's going to get his flow as the fight goes on. The less that Fiziev pressures, I think that Ruffy will catch it up. So I got a decision by Ruffy. Let me know if you guys agree. I think it could be a finish because of the nature of both fighters, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a tick-for-tat match at first, and then round 3, Ruffy lets loose. But will be enough. Fiziev is tough, so I don't know. Now for the co-main event. Dan Hooker versus Benoit Saint Denis. Now, I can't lie. I got Benoit Saint Denis here. I know I just said a couple days ago that maybe Dan Hooker could pull this off and they could do Dan Hooker versus Paddy Pimblett, but they could still do that if he loses to Benoit Saint Denis. Because I can't lie, I'm done sleeping on Benoit Saint Denis. He has really impressed me in his last few fights. I underestimated him in a matchup. I think it was against Rufy. I mean, a lot of people did at the time, to be fair, but Benoit Saint Denis is just a tough motherfucker. He's hard to hurt, and then he'll pressure you. He has very good short-range power as well, but when he mixes in the grappling, that's when it's really a problem. And here's the thing with Dan Hooker. He has great footwork, right? He has great pressure when he has you against the cage. He'll wing combinations at you. He has good kicks, but he has a tendency to get the body kicks caught and then taken down. He really struggles with grapplers, and Paddy Pimblett said what he said for a reason, even though it was fucked up the way he said it, the analogy he gave. He doesn't do good with grappling. He tends to do a decent job getting up in some fights, but Benoit Saint Denis is strong, man. He's strong and he's a tough fighter. He just pressures you and walks forward, and yeah, it might be a little bit tough for Benoit Saint Denis to cross the distance and get to Dan Hooker, but again, if Dan Hooker throws a body kick that's caught, he cannot stop a single leg takedown for his life. So I think Benoit Saint Denis is going to take him down and beat him up a lot in this fight. I think it's going to be damage based off ground and pound. I think Dan Hooker will do a good job surviving from submissions, rolling, stuff like that. Little moments on the ground, right? But I don't know. I got Benoit Saint Denis by decision. I think that he's just going to be too much with the grappling. I don't think he's going to get Dan Hooker out of there. I think if there is a finish, it will be Dan Hooker. If Benoit Saint Denis isn't able to close the distance and Dan Hooker's actually able to land a good kill shot on Benoit Saint Denis, I just don't really see it. He's like a Frankenstein walking forward. Benoit Saint Denis is tough. And I think he's a tough fighter for almost everybody in the division. He's just so well balanced. He has short range power. Like I said, it's not like he picks you apart at range. He gets close and he stings you really badly. And he likes to work in your chest. He will push you back. He won't just take you down. He will work you against the cage. I think this might end up being a boring fight, but I don't think it will go good for Benoit Saint Denis if it was a pure striking matchup. Don't get me wrong. He has great kicks. He has nasty low kicks, and that might hinder the movement as Dan Hooker as well. So it might be a heavy low kick strategy and then grapple strategy from Benoit Saint Denis. But I got him by decision. I just don't think Dan Hooker has the grappling to deal with him. I would love for him to win, and then maybe he will call out Paddy Pimblett. You know what I'm saying? But I got Benoit Saint Denis, and if he wins this fight, he's going to get a contender matchup. He's been on fire recently, and he's been active. I think the UFC should reward him with a huge fight if he wins this, and I think he does. So I got Benoit Saint Denis by decision. But those were my predictions for UFC 325. If you guys disagree, like some people in my hate comments video were saying, I don't know what I'm talking about at all. So if you disagree with any of my takes, please let me know. I'm never offended by it. Leave a comment. If you disagree, who do you think is going to fight? What's your parlay? Let me know. But make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that. I'm still a small channel, so every single one of those matters. So thank you guys for listening to me yap like usual. God bless every single one of you. And peace out.